Okay, so bad news. I lost all of the footage for this playthrough. For Christmas, I got a bunch of hard drives, and I forgot to back up the files for this playthrough. So when I wiped my hard drives, I forgot to back up the footage, so I lost it. So what you were seeing beforehand was my first time reaction to the game. It was the first time I was ever playing the game. So everything you see from this point onwards is going to be me, well, playing the game, but I've already beaten the game like shitloads of times. Like after I beat it the first time, I played the HD version for the PlayStation 3, and because I wanted to get all of the trophies for it, I beat it like 6 or 7 or 8 times. So I know the game like the back of my hand now. So I don't know. This is going to be kind of weird if you've been actually following this playthrough. I don't think a lot of people have, but for those of you who have been watching it, this is going to be a bit confusing, I think. So the recap: I lost all of my footage, and what you were seeing beforehand was me playing the game for the first time. But now this is me playing the game for like the 9th or 10th time. I've completed this game so many times since then. Okay, so the last thing you saw me was trying to fight Pyramid Head with a great knife. It turns out you're not supposed to fight him at all. That whole entire part with Pyramid Head is optional. You don't even need to go down there. Basically, you have to come to this cube. You have to rotate it to the correct position, which I have done, which rotates this room. Like as you rotate the head, it rotates this room as well. And you have to rotate it to the right position to unlock this little stairway by here. Okay, I'm going to be quiet here. This is like my favourite cutscene in the whole entire game. It's just, there's something really hypnotic about it.
You're alive! Maria, I thought that thing killed you. Are you hurt bad?
Not at all, silly.
Maria? That thing, it stabbed you. There was blood everywhere.
Stabbed me? What do you mean?
It chased us to the elevator, and then...
James, what are you talking about?
Just before! Don't you remember?
James, honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Maria?
You said you took everything, but you forgot that videotape we made. I wonder if it's still there.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
I'm not your Mary.
So, you're Maria?
I am. If you want me to be.
All I want from you is an answer.
It doesn't matter who I am. I'm here for you, James. See? I'm real. Don't you want to touch me?
I don't know.
Come and get me. I can't do anything through these bars.
Okay. Stay right there. I'll be there soon.
Okay, so from what I remember, you get like a pair of scissors, I think, at this point. I think they're in this room, actually. Oh wait, yeah, this room. And then you have to run back to the doorway blocked by the wires. Yeah. Oh, it's the power cutter, something like that. Wire cutter, there we go. Now we've got to head back to that doorway covered with the wires to, well, obviously cut them. What I think is kind of weird is that the great knife that you get from the Pyramid Head hallway, that can't cut the wires, but this tiny little wire cutter does. I mean, I don't know, it doesn't really make much sense, but it's a video game, so what can you do? Like when I first played this, when I got the great knife from Pyramid Head, I went back to the doorway covered with, with wires, and I tried to cut it with the great knife. Nothing happens. Thought my phone went then. Okay. I think this is kind of a mess of a Let's Play. It feels like to me. I mean, you know, I'm playing the game for the first time, and then all of a sudden I know everything that's going to happen in the game. I think this is going to be kind of confusing for you guys to watch. Okay, so this bit is kind of like a maze. It's basically a maze of like ladders and hallways. Yeah, in fact, this area of the game is called the labyrinth, I think. It all looks very similar. Like it's obviously supposed to be like a maze. Well, a labyrinth. Makes sense. So even though I completed this game like 9 or 10 times, this bit's kind of confusing for me. It might take me a while. I know you can run into Pyramid Head at some point doing this as well. And it's actually like optional. He's kind of wandering these hallways somewhere. But it's optional. Like the first time I played this, I didn't even run into him. I got to the exit pretty quickly when I played this for the first time. I didn't even realise Pyramid Head was in these hallways. So when I was replaying the game for like the 4th or 5th time, I ran into him when I was going through these hallways. I was kind of surprised by that. Gave me a bit of a shock. And I have got the Platinum Trophy on the PS3 because, you know, I am a bit of a trophy whore, I will admit. And the HD collection, most people seem to shit on it, but I don't think it's that bad. I'm sure a lot of people are going to jump down my throat for saying that, but the HD collection... no, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, if you had a choice between playing the PS2 version or the HD version, I would say, well, play the PS2 version because, you know, it's the version the developers intended for you to play. But, like, you shouldn't bust your balls over trying to find the PS2 version. I mean, if you're having that much trouble trying to find the PS2 version, just buy the HD version, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are going to jump down my throat for saying that, but it wasn't that bad, I don't think. Like, I understand, like, a lot of the textures are... Like, they removed a lot of the fog. Oh, wait, this is Pyramid Head. So this bit is entirely optional. You don't have to go down here. For those of you wondering, you can't fight him. Like, you can try and damage him as much as you want. Pyramid Head will not die. In fact, you have to go up this ladder. I think that's the end of the maze, actually. Surprised I finished that so quickly. Okay, we got a boss fight coming up. I think Abstract Daddy is his name. I think this talks about a house fire, if I remember right. I think that's Angela's father, actually. I'm not sure if this is... No, I'm sure you were supposed to work this out earlier on in the game, I can't remember. But for those of you watching who aren't up to date on the story, Angela killed her father. I'm not sure if you were supposed to know that yet. That's the thing, I've completed this game so many times, I know everything about it, so I'm not sure if you know, what you're supposed to know at this point in the game. Okay, so we got a boss fight coming up here, Abstract Daddy, in this, yeah. This is kind of like one of the more famous parts of the game. I will admit, the symbolism for this boss fight went right over my head the first time I played it. It's mainly because I took one look at this monster and I just saw it as a blob of just a blob. That's really all I kind of saw it as. For those of you who are a bit more observant, let's say, you may notice that it looks like it's basically two people encased in plastic, and if you look close enough, I guess you'll make out that what you are looking at here is basically two people encased in plastic or latex or something like that, and basically one of them is fucking the other person. I'm not sure how to describe this. It's basically supposed to represent Angela's father raping her. So Angela was molested by her father, and that's basically supposed to be like, you know, him, doing his stuff with her. And that symbolism went right over my head the first time I played this.
Are you okay?
Although that should have been a dead giveaway to me.
Angela, relax.
Don't order me around!
I'm not trying to order you.
So what do you want then? Oh, I see. You're trying to be nice to me, right? I know what you're up to. It's always the same. You're only after one thing.
No, that's not true at all.
You don't have to lie. Go ahead and say it. Or you could just force me. Beat me up like he always did. You only care about yourself anyway. You disgusting pig.
Angela.
Don't touch me! You make me sick. You said your wife Mary was dead, right?
Yes. She was ill.
Liar! I know about you. You didn't want her around anymore. You probably found someone else.
That's ridiculous. I never...
Okay, so that was Abstract Daddy. Another thing I really like about this game is when you replay the game, like there's so much which you didn't notice when you first played the game, which you don't notice until you've beaten the game. Like there's a lot of things which you kind of notice the second time you play through the game. Like this game has a lot of replay value in that sense. It's like the way Angela reacts, you're kind of like, what is up with this girl? When you watch the way she talks in the cutscenes. But once you've played through the game and you know everything about, her character, when you replay the game again, you're kind of like, it makes sense, like the way she reacts. That's one thing I kind of like about this game. And there's just a lot of things you can kind of find around the environment and stuff, and there's just, this game has a lot of things where, I don't know, I just think it's really cool. It's like, there's so much stuff you don't notice the first time you play the game. It's like you have to beat the game before you notice a lot of the cool stuff. Okay, so this puzzle didn't give me any trouble. Hang on, you just gotta look for the innocent man from what I remember. One of these people are innocent, basically. The arsonist, yeah. Okay, so the arsonist is the innocent person, and oh, right, okay. We gotta go to the other room to find out which one's the arsonist. This puzzle, this puzzle, you weren't missing anything from my first time reaction. I sussed out this puzzle pretty quickly. Although it is probably the easiest puzzle in the game, I'd say. So one of these people, or statues, is the arsonist. Yeah, this guy. So the corner one. You basically have to figure out which one of these statues is the innocent one by reading the message on the wall. And then you pull the noose, which, corresponds to the position of the innocent person. So this is where the arsonist was standing. So pull the noose. And then we get a key, which allows us to move on. The penalty for pulling the wrong noose isn't much either, which I thought was kind of weird. The only thing that happens if you pull the wrong noose is that it basically spawns an enemy, like a generic kind of zombie enemy in this hallway. So it's not much of a problem. You can just run around them. So I thought that was kind of disappointing. I didn't pull the wrong noose until I replayed the game, by the way. I wanted to know what would happen if you pulled the wrong one, so... Okay, so just use the key, unlock the handcuffs, move on. I think we're about to find Mary again. Oh, hang on. I think that's an item you use for one of the multiple endings. I have experienced every single multiple ending this game has. I think there's like 6 or 8, I can't remember. But they are really cool, actually. I mean, I thought a lot of them would just be really tacked on endings. Like, with really minor differences. But they are actually really cool. There's actually 2 really funny ones, which are kind of like just... They're supposed to be like joke endings involving aliens. There's one involving a UFO. The second one involved a dog. You find out a dog was like the mastermind behind everything. You can YouTube them. I'm sure those endings are... All of the endings are on YouTube. But they were pretty funny. They were cute.
Maria? Maria? Maria, no! What happened to you? Why? Why? Mary.
That music is so awesome. Just gotta say that. All of the music in this game is great. I will say getting the platinum for this game, because like I said, I'm a trophy whore. Getting the platinum for this game was a pain in the ass, I'll say that. I mean, I enjoyed getting the platinum, but holy shit, it was hard, I'll say that. I'm sure those of you who have got the platinum can sympathize with me. Okay, so this is pretty cool. Got a graveyard here. Yeah, better save the game here. Another thing with this game is that I if I wanted to, I guess I could. The fastest I've beaten this game is like 2 hours and 30 minutes, I think. Basically, once you've beaten the game once and you know where to go, you can beat the game so quickly. I mean, the game, like, as long as you know where to go and you've beaten it once, you can pretty much beat the game in like 2 hours or 3 hours. But the thing is, I guess you could say that about any game, to be fair. I mean, every game is short when you know exactly where to go. So, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just an observation, I guess. Oh yeah, this is something I missed on my first playthrough. So you're supposed to jump down this hole here to progress, and I did that like pretty much straight away. But this is something I didn't notice until I played the game a bunch of times. Is you can actually read these tombstones by here. And James Sunderland, eh? Bit spooky, right? This one's Angela, and I think this one was Mary. Oh, I know it's Eddie, never mind. So I just think that's pretty cool. And we got another boss fight coming up here, which was an absolute nightmare on the hardest difficulty, just saying. Hang on. I'm sure if you're a Silent Hill fan, what I'm about to do is going to surprise nobody, but if you're not, if you haven't played this game before, I'm going to show you a cool trick. This trick is known to like virtually everyone who has ever played this game before, but if you haven't played the game before, you're going to see a pretty cool trick coming up here. I'm not sure if you could call it a glitch or what, but it's basically a really cheap way to defeat the boss. There's a boss fight coming up here. It's really, really cheap.
Eddie, what are you doing?